Welcome to episode. Are you still doing your homework? Is that what's going on over there?
Then we forgot to do our 5
homework
seconds.
is homework. Okay, we can do that at the end. We're rolling, and it's an exciting time. I just got back from the Midwest yesterday on some business I had to look after out there, and I was sitting in O'Hare International Airport in Chicago, which I have many times in my career. And you and I were talking. I was messaging you about what we were going to call today.
Yes, you were.
And kind of like Marvelous Marin behind the camera there, we had a conversation where you actually made the final decision, and now you don't know what the final decision was that you made.
Yeah, I know what the final decision is.
And what's the title today?
When will De Beers take a dump?
That sounds horrible. It was supposed to be when will De Beers make a dump? Okay, but I did let you do, because I'm in an airport, make a dump. And so
It says take a dump.
So it says take a dump. It should be make a dump of
But you didn't correct it. You just
I
let
didn't
go.
notice it till this morning. I'm like,
Oh my
and so,
God! You didn't notice it till this morning.
No, I
and we
didn't
posted
notice.
it and-
Yes, we post. No, we didn't post it. You posted it.
Gosh. Oh.
So it's not take a dump. De Beers can take a dump whenever they like, but it's about making a dump. And what it was referring to is that you probably know now is the stockpiles of mined diamonds are growing and growing and growing and growing, and it's absolutely crazy. And y'all know I'm a student of the industry. I mean, I love my industry. I love mined diamonds. I love laboratory created diamonds. But 2 articles when I woke up this morning at 5:30 to start to read articles. Where are you at 5:30 in the morning?
Probably feeding my child.
Okay, so I'm just going to move on from that. I'm reading the article, and the head of the diamond bourses, because the industry is in a panic. Okay,
They are,
so I want to give you 2, and it's the mined diamond industry that's in a panic. And like I say, I often marvel at the fact that they literally have no solution for laboratory created diamonds.
No solution.
There's no solution for them. And so here's where desperation sets in. So there's a position in the world called the head of the global, I'm not going to say the technical, but it's the diamond bourses. And what the diamond bourses are, they just built the biggest building in the world in Surat, India, to house the world's biggest diamond bourse, because remember nowadays 9 out of 10. And to be honored to sit in a bourse and to have a seat is one of the top tiers. And I've had this honor because when I had my office in Antwerp, Belgium, it was and had been for 450 years the center of the diamond universe. Today that's India. But I sat in the bourse, and it was an extraordinary experience because it's ground zero. It's where the rough is traded and all the brokers who qualify are there. It's the center of the diamond universe. And the head of the bourse today, so there's bourses in Israel, there's bourses in India, there's a bourse in New York, there's a bourse in Antwerp, was talking about the fact, very desperately about the fact, of what's going on in the industry. And I'm going to talk specifically about the engagement ring industry, which is the biggest part of the industry by far.
By far,
The
yes.
jewelry part of the industry, but mostly engagement rings in terms of revenues for the industry. And he was talking about the fact he was reaching out to all us bourse members across the world and talking about the fact that they need to, now don't you forget to make sure when you're talking not to stare at me, although I am somewhat attractive. And this blue, how hot is this blue on me?
Your colors of your eyes are popping.
Okay, and so literally, he's talking about the challenge of the industry, and apparently the youth of the world, the people who are getting engaged, what's the age group called?
Zillennials.
So De Beers, the legendary iconic diamond, as
Yes.
Katrina just taught me this morning, refers to them as zillennials.
They are, yeah.
There's a problem. And the problem is, as he wrote,
Yes.
everybody needs to band together to talk about this, and you're going to hear so much bullshit about this coming up to Christmas this year, because this could be the last Christmas
Yeah.
for Mine Diamonds.
Oh
I
my
mean, the way it
goodness.
is right now.
Could be.
And this is all leading to De Beers making a dump.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know. As he's talking about the fact that we all need to band together to convince people that it's about this journey a diamond takes, which, by the way,
Yeah.
every country a diamond goes to, price just goes up to you. Okay, every step
That's
in
true.
that journey. But they're trying to go back to old ways that they romance the stone for you to get you to commit to when I read the article, and if you guys want to see these articles, contact me. I'm happy to ship them to you. He was talking about the fact that everybody needs to band together to talk about natural diamonds and the journey the diamond takes. And because apparently the problem the industry's having is they haven't focused on the love in a diamond. And that's where you should focus on a mine diamond. I guess the lab-grown ones don't have any love. But the problem they have is information.
Right.
And the information is that the zillennials, I don't really like that, by the way.
Oh, well, that wasn't by me. That was by...
Well, De Beers used it this morning, is that they care too much for human rights.
That is correct.
That's the problem. So human rights violations are the issue that zillennials are having with the industry. And they're going to try to take... So I don't know about you. I have 3 children. They're the future for us.
Yeah.
And but they care about human rights.
As
They
they should.
care about the environment.
As
And
they
so this is the challenge the mine diamond industry has today.
Yes.
Is that, like, when I read it, I thought, really, you're just saying that?
Wow.
So human rights issues
Yeah.
in the industry, the natural diamond industry, are the problem.
Yeah. Well, being a zillennial myself, and everything that we're dealing with. on a
Really? You're
day-to-day-
still a zillennial?
You're having a hard time to say it? Zillennial.
Don't
yes.
get on me about having hard time saying things, okay? Don't even
But-
bother.
In this new day and age, a lot of things matter. So yes, of course, when it comes to the environment and human rights, that's a big thing.
Huge.
Because people are uncovering certain things about the diamond mined industry and what people had to go through, as we talked in our last podcast, our podcast before, blood on their hands.
Blood on their hands,
It's good that you
exactly.
had mentioned that, because De Beers is targeting a lot of the youth, a lot of the zillennials. They have a new marketing campaign that we were speaking about this morning called Worth the Wait. And basically, that campaign, as I mentioned, is targeted towards the zillennials, the youth of our time. And it's basically letting people know that diamonds are a journey of love and that people should understand that. But is it really, though? Because, mine diamonds, they do have a history and a backstory to them, and there is some sort of love to it. But lab-grown diamonds have love, too.
Okay. So I'm going to show you this article from the Rappaport Diamond Report. There's the head of World Federation of Diamond Bourses urges industry to invest in natural diamond marketing.
Wow.
Okay. And I don't know who he's talking to in the industry anymore, because many of these are already selling laboratory created
That
diamonds.
is correct,
They
yeah.
tend to like the profits. Imagine being in a business and appreciating profits. Anyway, so here's what he said. The lack of any major generic marketing campaigns over the last 20 years has led to younger consumers forming different viewpoints on natural diamonds than earlier generations.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the truth.
Well, but that's my generation, because we believed the bullshit. I mean, honestly, we believed that a diamond, a white engagement diamond, of which there's stockpiles of, which relates to the dump
Yeah.
that De Beers is going to take. They have to take. They're a corporation. They got to make money. But the information, we had no way to check it. Now we live in an information age. Let me read on. Forming views on natural diamonds than earlier generations, he said in an open letter to the World Federation of Diamond Bourses published last week. They do not see diamonds, they is talking about you, by the way. They do not see diamonds as a symbol of everlasting love. I think people still do.
Yeah,
I mean,
they do.
laboratory created diamonds don't change that perspective. But more is about how much they affect human rights. So, I mean, this is like Joe Biden in the U.S. election coming out and talking about things after the fact because he's bitter that they replaced him.
Yeah.
And this guy seems to be pointing out the fact to me when I read the article, and he's not a publicist, he's writing a letter, he's trying to save the industry, he's trying to look like, but human rights don't seem to matter to the diamond industry, the mine diamond industry.
Yeah, never.
Like, why would he say that? Like, how? It's appalling to me. So it's an admission of the human rights violations that have taken place, and from what I understand, at certain levels from certain countries are still taking place today.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway, so there you go. That was the number one thing I read today that really shocked me. And remember, stockpiles like they've never had before. The commitment to the industry to release diamonds has stopped by De Beers. The mines are all cutting back.
Oh, yes.
They don't have a market anymore. And the other article I read was by the Gemological Institute of America, who posted an article on the Rappaport Diamond Report. Martin Rappaport, I think you're amazing, and let's see where all this goes. He's very much in support of the mine diamond industry because that's where he makes his living. Is the fact that they found the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, this one kills me, has found inclusions. So when diamonds formed billions of years ago, somewhere near the center of the earth, it's the absence or presence of anything that may have gotten caught in the stone, or after billions of years of heat and pressure and everything else on the stone, they get small fractures that can cause inclusions. It's somewhere near the center of the earth. There's certainly nothing alive down there. It's like the center of the sun as far as living. Anyway, the GIA, and this is their lead article this morning, is they found inclusions that look like wildlife. And I'm like, what the hell? And so there's an inclusion in the front of this article. You know what? I'm going to do a post on this. I have to, because they say this particular inclusion, and this is what they're trying to do to try and get you guys to love mine diamonds again and pay the ridiculous amounts in the marketplace. They're asking for something that's virtually identical. Is they're saying they look like not a flock. What do you have if you have butterflies? It's not a flock of butterflies. Is it flock of butterflies? There used to be a band named that, wasn't there?
No.
Anyway, they look like butterflies, and so there's a picture, and I think anybody looking at the picture are going to say they look like moths. Not like butterflies, and it's only the back, and it's an inclusion, so it has nothing to do. It's just a freakish inclusion. And the other one was, and Marvelous Marin there behind the camera and I were looking at the fact that the one that looks like a fish.
Oh, wow.
And Marin looks up and goes, so would you want a fish in your diamond? And I don't think so. And it took me back to the early years in my industry and to the early 80s, where one of the things that when I opened the national jewelry store chain, we used to have to shop our competitors. And it was part of our job. We would go in and talk to them. And I mean, it's a business practice that you got to know your competition. And so I had this young lady in those days selling me an engagement ring, and I shouldn't say the name of the company, People's Jewelers, which is part of a big chain. And I looked at something, and they had it set up so I could look at my diamond in the microscope. And I looked in the diamond in the microscope, and I said, and this is a level of BS because there's no real training at the retail level.
Right.
It's a education on what De Beers and the industry wants you to say. And I said, boy, that looks like a spider. And the girl seized on this and started going, well, wow, it does look like a spider. It must have been frozen in that diamond years ago. This is what she's saying to me. They're in the center of the earth billions of years ago, and nothing but flames and hot and molten everything. A spider got it.
That's a good one.
Honest to goodness.
Spider in a diamond.
But she used it as a selling point, and I'm sure today this is what's going on in the industry.
Yes.
Don't you? Can I get a diamond with a flock of butterflies? I'm gonna have to research that. Anyway, it's killing me watching this industry struggle and try to get through.
Yes.
You know, the problem you're having, guys, is a diamond's a diamond. So, you know, now they're going back to this campaign you were talking about. Expand on that a little bit.
Worth the wait.
Worth the wait.
Yes.
Expand.
Oh, I was talking about it earlier, but I know that you probably weren't listening. So, it was from De Beers, a new campaign called Worth the Wait, and they're targeting.
What do you mean I wasn't listening? I'm talking about the article that you want to talk about.
Yeah, well, when you were searching up the gentleman and what he had to say, I spoke about the article real quick.
Okay, so can you speak about it?
Yeah, so it's called a campaign called Worth the Wait, and it's targeting the younger generation, the Zillennials, Gen Z and millennials, and basically letting them know that a mined diamond is where the love is at, and that is the journey of a diamond.
Oh, the journey it takes.
The journey that the diamond takes.
So there used to be a commercial on TV when I was a young man about how a diamond lands on 4 different continents. And but what they're doing is going back to what worked in another time. When they could run these ads, that was a very successful campaign.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, people understand that if your diamond goes to 4 different continents to get things done, it's costing me more for nothing.
Ding.
Right?
That's
exactly.
Correct. Costing you more,
That ding was good.
We like that ding.
Hey, we're here, we're direct, okay? So anyway, they're trying to sell this story in a time of information. Remember, we live in the information age. It's at your fingertips. There's no compelling story to make it about more. You know, I don't think a girl's going to look at her diamond and think, oh, it's natural. It's like a fraction of the size of everybody else's. But because I have butterflies in it, supposedly, that no one can see, it's an inclusion.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I mean, it's gone crazy.
Yeah, you're
It's gone absolutely crazy, and it's desperation. And so, I hope to goodness I'm wrong, but the hunch I have on De Beers making a dump.
Yes.
Making
a dump.
Okay, is to dump, and this is a big fear in the industry. I'm no financial genius. I'm no, I'm not working for one of the big finance companies to be qualified for this. I know my industry, obviously, is De Beers needs cash.
They do.
And De Beers is hemorrhaging cash right now, as are all the other big players trying to get you back onto natural diamonds when no one even knows if they're natural anymore.
You can't tell the difference.
Out of a mine or out of a lab.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's quite fascinating. Instead of getting butterflies, I think we can all, when you get excited and get butterflies, you could be getting a mined diamond with butterflies, or a lab-created diamond with butterflies in it that's not disclosed. You know why? Because one of the big advances of laboratory-created diamonds, it's a recent advance is the fact that they can put the inclusions in
it,
to make them look like mined.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you guys. You're going to have to make your own decisions, but it sure is entertaining for me to read this stuff. When I saw the article about him saying, right, that the youth of today care more about human rights, isn't that what we want?
Yes. That's
Like,
what
I
we
don't know
want.
about you, but I would rather my child stand for human rights or the youth of, you know, wherever we're from. And apparently they do, and this is a big problem for the industry. Well, if you want to fix that problem, fix the human rights violation. I hate when she does that.
I love it.
Why?
Would you rather I start it
So
out?
this is what Marvelous Marin does at
She's
20
counting
minutes.
us down.
Anyway, so here's the threat now for all you people who are looking at a mine diamond. The industry is going to try to suck as much cash as it can out of the mine diamond industry between now and the holidays. Remember, I talked about this before. Many jewelers do 50% of their business. They're in a position where, you know, right now, the biggest jewelers in the world, and don't think that a company like Tiffany is one of the biggest jewelers in the world. You know, Pandora is the biggest in the world. Yeah, those little, they sell more diamonds than anybody else in the world.
Pandora,
Walmart sells way more diamonds than all these big name companies.
Wow.
Right? Crazy to think about. Walmart has setters going 24/7 in India, just setting quarter carats, for goodness sake. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay.
So those are where the sales are really taking place. The mine industry is becoming, you know, I use the word dodo bird. I mean, it's unfortunate. The implosion is sad for me to watch. The desperation is sad for me to watch. I hope through some miracle that, you know, they find a way out, but my hunch is they're going to have to make a dump of the mine diamonds that they have, that the price of these, which really changes the paradigm on you owning a mine diamond today. Remember, everything you're looking at this holiday season on jewelry store shelves is old pricing. They've dropped by 40%. It's a lot.
Wow. Well,
So-
we're going to have to do a separate episode written for the holidays on that.
We are?
Yeah.
Do we have to?
You're the boss.
Hang on. I am?
I said you're the boss.
Anyway, so that's what's going on. So your mine diamond industry is in real trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're trying to say that, you know, the problem is human rights, which is, if you read the article, that's the way you'll read it. And from their perspective is, why would people care about human rights? Why would people care about the environment? Of course they do.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different world.
We're all for it, though.
Okay, anyway, I'm so progressive
That's great.
for my age of 43 in the industry. Awkward moment. Okay. Look, you guys, I want to thank you for being here. I thank you for the questions. You want copies of the articles, you got questions, you want insights. Don't forget, what we do best is broker the world's most beautiful diamonds at prices that defy comparison. We don't have the overheads associated with these big chains. And, you know, apparently my competition is slowly getting killed off anyway, because they can't do what we do for you.
I love it.
Okay, was that good?
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was a good day today.
Good to have you back. It's nice and sunny.
Right? Back here from the frozen tundra of places like North and South Dakota, Iowa. Yeah, it was fun. Okay, God bless everybody, and we will see you next week. Were you going to talk about colored diamonds?
We can do that next week.
We can do that next week. Okay.
See you.
Take care, everybody.